Rundown on some of our Alaska stories for Friday, June 2nd, 2017. People were talking about the potential for marijuana tax to be this huge thing. The early estimates as much as $12 million in taxes. That was revised downward to, well, we'll get $5 million in taxes a year. Then it was revised downward again to $2 million in taxes. Well, it's now the middle of the year, and the state has collected roughly $1 million in marijuana tax. It's still far short of the projections. With the possibility of a government shutdown in Alaska looming, they're saying that we could see an impact on the private sector as well, specifically in real estate, because one of the essential parts of the procedures in order for the sales to be legal and recorded with the state is to have a recorder's office, which would be closed as part of the shutdown, and therefore it would put a halt on basically all home selling and buying during the time of a shutdown. The U.S. missile defenses in Alaska and South Korea are being seen as a direct threat to Russia. That's according to Vladimir Putin speaking yesterday at a news conference, and he suggested that, hey, we could put missiles at the Kuril Islands, which is, of course, right off the coast of Japan and is part of the disputed territory. And a couple of Anchorage homeless men that were seen waving signs protesting the income tax, which is being proposed by the State House, said that they were paid by somebody, they don't know who, to wave the signs. They said they also happened to agree with the signs. The once flagging Alaska space business is showing signs of liftoff. It's after, remember the Kodiak Space Launch Complex had an explosion back in 2014 or so, and it damaged the launch facilities. They've repaired it. They've gotten new launches scheduled. And it's also had a lot of criticism, especially from those who think that it's a waste of state money. Mat-Su voters may have to decide on whether or not to institute a new borough sales tax to help their schools. So far they've talked about a 1.5% tax, a 2% tax, a 3% tax, and whether or not it would be year-round or just during the summer. But it looks like they're moving forward in that direction. A state regulator appearing before the Borough Assembly told them that basically the proposed air pollution rules don't go far enough. It's not going to be enough to stave off the EPA. This while there's also an air quality ballot measure application that's been rejected. Somebody's saying, hey, we need to strip the borough of these powers. And the borough said, no, you can't vote on that. Apparently some of the signatures that they had weren't from registered voters in the borough. If you want to call it a technicality, or whatever you want to call it, basically it was denied, so they have to start over again. Gulliver's over there on College Road, Gulliver's Books, has closed the second-story cafe, and the owners have listed the bookstore for sale. A number of folks lamenting the closure of Gulliver's. I think some 300 or so comments, the sad face on Facebook. If you're sad about it, why weren't you eating there? Lastly, two more stories. One is that Chena Lake area has a grizzly bear nearby. Right there at the corner of Plaque, somebody saw a grizzly take down a moose calf. The bear ran off when somebody came out there and started up a lawnmower. And so they're urging anybody that wants to use the Chena Lake recreation area to be on the lookout for a grizz. And, as always, there are many more stories than we have time for. If you'd like to get them all, I deliver a 30 to 40-minute audio version directly to the inboxes of my subscribers at radiofreespeech.com. The last story to mention is that farmers markets are everywhere all around the state of Alaska, despite the chilly spring. All kinds of fresh food. And one of them, a really neat idea down in Soldotna, it's online. You can actually go online and order the stuff that you want, pay for it, and then you just pick it up. I like that idea a lot. Anyway, there you have it. That's our news for Alaska. Let me know what you think. If you got any news tips for me or questions, Steve at radiofreespeech.com. Thank you.